Good day everyone, my name is Graphics. Today we'll be looking at the relationship between linear and angular motion. Now let's assume we have a boy that attached a string or a wire to a ball. Now he starts rotating the ball about the fixed point where he is standing. Now let's assume from this point to this point here is where the ball is, A. Now one thing you need to know is that the speed of the ball will be constant, right? While the velocity changes with time. Is that okay now? So, and the velocity is perpendicular, is tangential to the circumference of the circle from where the ball acts, right? So let's assume this is my point A and here is my what? Point B. Let's assume that way. So if the ball if the ball rotates from point A to point B, we'll call that angle between the ball from initial point to final point to be what? Theta, right? I will call it to be our radius and our radius. Then this is the velocity V. Is that okay? So it rotates, continue rotating. So the distance here from A to B is giving us what? X. All good. So we say that in terms of distance, right, the S is equals to what? The radius times what? The theta. Equation 1. Is that okay? Now, in terms of velocity, the linear velocity V is equals to what? The S over what? The T. What is displacement over time? Changing displacement over time. Let me call this my equation I. While the angular velocity is equals to angular displacement all over what? Time. Rate of change of angular displacement over time. So we'll call this I. So dividing equation I by II, we'll be having V all over omega, which is angular velocity, and that will give me the X over what? The T. Multiply by, it will change because I'm using that to be the T over what? The theta. Now this will equate this. So my V over omega will give me the S over what? The theta, right? But my S is equals to r theta in equation 1, right? Then my r will now be what? S over what? Theta, or you say the S over what? The theta, right? So let me call it I. So by substituting R in equation I above, we'll be having V over W as omega will give me R. So this will be my equation what? 2. Equation 2, right? Also, in terms of acceleration,